Hello guys, today I will be teaching you how to clean your longboard bearings. Two reasons you should clean your longboard bearings is because it makes them work better and it increases their longevity. So what you will need is a 13mm wrench, rubbing alcohol, WD-40, and a bucket, and some paper towels, and lube, which I am using Speed Cream. To get us started, you have to take out that nut with your 13mm wrench. Yeah, it's in the process. Alright. Once the nut is out, you can just leave it to the side and you can pop out your wheel. What will also come out is this little ring, which basically prevents your bearing rubbing against your nut. So these are pretty important. Let's keep these to the side. And there is another one on the other side of the wheel right here. So let's take this guy out too. And let's put these to the side. To take your bearing out, stick your wheel halfway in and pry it out. And there's your bearing. Leave to the side. Do that again with the other, and as you can see there's no bearing. And do that with the front side. There's your other bearing. Now that you have your two bearings, you are ready to clean them. But there are these rubber shields on them, and so you will also need a little safety pin. Poke it into the side and pry it out, just like that. And do that for the other side. There we go, just like that. And it's out. Now you have your insides of the bearing, which are ready to be cleaned. Remove the shields on this bearing too, and then you are ready to clean your bearing. And one second here. This cap doesn't want to come out. Alright, there we go. It's out. Now you have two raw bearings, and you have your WD-40. Get your bucket, and you can hose it down with the WD-40. In 1 second, I'll be right back. start hosing down your bearing with the WD-40. Once it's all mostly gone, once it's mostly gone, you can do the other bearing and leave this on a paper towel. Just like that. Right there. And hose down the other bearing as well. Yeah, that is it for the WD-40. We can leave that to the side. And what we need to do now is just make sure the bearings are nice and dry, and throw out all the WD-40 in your bucket and wash the bucket. Alright, once you have done that, fill your bucket 1/4 way with rubbing alcohol. I have a pretty small bucket. It's like about that big compared to my hand. So that's all you really need. Let's go ahead and do that. Fill it up. Just dump the bearings in there. And the rubber caps as well, if you want. Just slosh it around. And once you feel as if all the WD-40 has come out, you can take the bearings out and put them on your paper towel, just like that. And take out all your rubber shields, place them there as well. And make sure that the bearings are dry and clean. Now here you have a clean bearing and a clean shield. And to put on a shield, you just place it on and pop it in place. Just like that. And do that for the other side and then for the other bearing as well. Now you have clean bearings, but they are dry, and you need to put on some lube on them so that there's less friction. So we'll take out our speed cream and for both sides of the bearing we'll put 1 drop there and 1 drop there. So drop and drop, and then just spin the bearing around to make sure it's evenly spread. Flip the bearing around, place another dot, another drop. and spin that around as well. Do that for your other bearing, and then you're ready to put the bearings back into the wheel. Alright, now you have two clean and lubed bearings, and you are ready to put them into your wheel again. So take your longboard and put the little middle ring on, put one of them on, and then put your bearing on. Then put your wheel on. And then hammer the wheel onto the truck to make sure that the bearing is put in place. That seems to be right. Then take your other bearing, put that on the truck. This time put your front side of the wheel on the truck and hammer that in to make sure both of your bearings are securely in the wheel. And now that you have one of the metal rings already on there, put the wheel on the right way, and then put on the other metal ring, and finally put on your nut, and tighten that enough so that the wheel won't fall out, but not too tight so that the wheel won't spin. So you have to find that little comfortable medium. And once your nut's in the right place and the wheel spins fine, you have cleaned your bearing. Repeat that 3 more times for each wheel, and you are ready to go.